Hey everybody, so today I am going to be recording a video on how to do nails, and I have a very special guest here with me today, and her name is Cherry Poppins. I've already done this hand right here. This hand is a glitter ombre stiletto nail, and so I know my ombre on the glitter is not that good, but this is my first time doing it so far. So I'm going to show you how I already prepped these 4 fingers over here, and I'm going to prep the thumbnail, and I have a Dremel tool over here. So this is my second time already doing the intro because my camera angle was not good enough. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking off the cuticle area. So that residue right there will allow lifting in the nails. So we don't want any lifting whenever it comes to acrylics. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take care of that like cuticle area, so that way we don't have any lifting. Whenever it comes to Dremel tools like this, I try my best to make sure that it's not turned up too high, because otherwise you can burn your client. And if you are a client, make sure to tell your nail technician if they do burn you, because nail technicians need to learn that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean off the cuticle area up here around the nail area, so that way we don't get any lifting. And I'm going to clean off around the sides of the nail as well, because there's cuticles that go all the way around. And then I'm going to clean off the top end of the nail as well. And then I'm going to clean up underneath the nail as well. Okay, so after doing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with a file. This right here is kind of like a box file. I usually typically use the Smile files, but today I'm going to be using this one because this one right here is a really strong file. I can't remember what grit it is. Oh, it is a 100/100 grit and everything, so it's very rough and you can take off a lot of layers with this. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be filing the top and then using the front end of the file like this along the cuticle area. This right here puts grooves in the nail that allows the acrylic to seep into, that allows the acrylic to hold on to a lot better. So I kind of do this all around like the sides and the back and top area, so that way we get a nice groove, so that way the acrylic doesn't lift, as I'm constantly repeating myself. What? Oh. Trying to make sure we're still an angle. Okay, so next up what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the client take a little bit of acetone and everything, which you can get at like your local beauty supply or at Walmart or anywhere else that has acetone, or you can order it online. So I'm going to have her take a cotton ball and some acetone and wipe off the nails, which is going to dry out the nail, which is going to get rid of like natural oils in the nail, so that way there is no residue left over. So after she is done doing that, I'm going to do a few of the nails and then I will be right back to show you how I do it. Okay, so what I already have on here is I've already done the pinky and a few of these fingers as well as the pointer finger. And as you can tell, there is a tip right here on the finger I'm looking. Okay, so there is already a tip right here on that finger. I have not done the thumb, so what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead and do the thumb and everything, so that way I can show you guys how I do this. So as of right now, I actually don't even need her hand, so I'm gonna be using the form. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my acrylic brush, and I have a little bit of clear acrylic right here mixed with regular craft glitter. So if anybody ever tells you that you have to use cosmetic grade glitter to do nails, they're lying. Be cheap about it, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna face the tip end of the nail here, and then I'm gonna have the base end of the nail facing me. And so I'm trying to find my place. Okay, and here we are. And so the base of the nail is gonna be facing me, and then the tip end of the nail is going to be facing away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my monomer, which is my acrylic liquid, and I'm going to use that, and then I'm going to go into my acrylic glitter product, provided that I won't drop it in there, and this is the thumb, so I need to make sure that I have plenty of product. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I get it up on the sidewalls. This is also considered the well of the nail. So I'm going to get that all up on the side walls as well as the back, and then I'm going to kind of pull forward towards the base end of the nail, going towards the the end of the nail. I forgot, the cuticle area. Come on, Heavenly, remember names. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some more liquid as well as some more powder. If I don't drop it in there, like I literally just did, I'm failing at this. Whenever it comes to nail tutorials. Okay, and then I'm just going to build that up just a little bit more. And then I'm going to put the acrylic glitter away, and I'm going to get my pink acrylic. I'm going to grab a pretty nice sized bead, and I'm going to fill up the base end of the nail. Get it all up on the side walls, and then grab another bean, fill that up, and then at this point the client will give you their hand, and then what we're going to do is take the tip and flip it just like this, and then I'm going to press this from the back end of the nail forward with a little bit of pressure. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold that there just for a few seconds and let that harden just a little bit, do what it needs to, let it adhere to the nail. As well, I forgot to tell you, but make sure that you put primer on the nail. The nail primer, you're going to want to at least do 2 coats of that. That's after prepping the actual nail with a file and the Dremel tool. And the primer you can get at your local beauty supply. I got mine at Sally's Beauty Supply. It's really inexpensive, but I will tell you right now, having a primer is a good thing. You don't want to get nail infections, as well as the primer will keep the acrylic more adhered to the nail, and especially with a good prep to the nail and the primer, it's a good idea. So I'm gonna release that form. Now this form right here has already been on the nail, so as you can tell, you get that noise. That right there should already be hard. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab the tip. There's these 2 little tabs right here, and I'm gonna turn this way, and it just pops right off. And then you get this really shiny, seamless top. And as you can tell, it's not a point just yet, so I have to go in and file that, and so I will be right back to show you all how I do that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to go back for a little bit of acrylic liquid, and I'm gonna fill up underneath the nail to make it a lot stronger. So I'm gonna grab a bead and try not to lose it this time. And I'm going to fill up that right there under part, so that way it's a lot stronger. And since I'm about to run out of that, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some regular clear acrylic and fill up the bottom of that nail. So that way it's stronger, lasts longer. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that nail sit and rest, and then we will return for filing, and then we're almost done. Yay. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I file. So I've already filed the other nails. As you can see, they are already filed to a very sharp I'ma hurt you point. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my 100 grit file, and I'm just simply going to just start filing on one side. And I always keep my finger about right here, so that way the corner or the sides of this does not cut into the client's hand and everything. So I always want to make sure I keep it like that, and then I will work upwards from this angle on this side. And I basically keep filing both sides until they basically meet at a very sharp point.
Alert from iMovie. Share successful.
Okay, we have officially met a point. Now, see, these nails are already shiny because they come directly out of a nail form. But instead of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go ahead and put a base coat and a clear coat on them, so that way we have some nice and very shiny nails. So these nail forms look just like this, by the way. You can get these at Sally's Beauty Supply, and it's called Form a Nail, or in the UK and in Germany and other places they are called dual forms. You can get these on Amazon, as well as you can get them at Sally's Beauty Supply here in the US. If you don't have a Sally's Beauty Supply, I would say definitely go on Amazon and look up Form a Nail, like the word form and nail, and then, or look up dual forms, nail forms, so that way you can find these. These are reusable, so the use of them is endless. You can use them non-stop. So what I'm going to be using for nails, for the clear coat, so I'm going to be using a base coat. This right here will protect the nail from discoloration, and a top coat, which is going to make it extremely shiny. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing that. So I like to open all of my bottles first, so that way, I'm so sorry about that because I know it was probably like really loud. And then that way I can go ahead and do this the way that it needs to be. So the way that I like to do my base coat is I will start at the tip end of the nail and then work my way back. So that way the tip already has like its color already on there. And then of course, with a very excellent coordinated model, your work will be a lot easier. Thank you, Cherry.
You're welcome.
Oh my God, that was the first time they've heard you.
Yeah.
In this video. Okay, and then go ahead and let that dry. Now, one thing that I do like to do is on the other hand that's already done, I have some cuticle oil that I'm going to be using. And so I like to just run this on the back end of the nail. This right here helps the cuticles relax and set since they've been pushed back. And so that way they're not so dry because of all of the acetone and stuff that's been used on them. And just let that sit for a little bit, and then afterwards just rub it on in. And then we're gonna go ahead and do our top coat because this stuff dries pretty quickly. Okay, and that right there is pretty much, excuse me, that's pretty much how I do my nails as well. But with my nails, I actually use an airbrush gun to airbrush my nails and everything. So I use acrylic airbrush. And later on in a video, I will show you guys how I do that. And I can simply just do that on myself and everything besides doing it on this. Now, however, whenever it comes to refilling these nails, what you do is you just take the same form that you used before, the same form, and you basically just take and put a little bit of acrylic, the same acrylic, which is the pink acrylic that I used in my video, well, not on my video, but on my nails and on Cherry's nails, and I just put it right here on the very back, and I basically just press it down and onto the nail, just to fill in that gap back there whenever you need to refill it. Anyways, I hope that you guys have liked today's video. Please make sure to like, subscribe, become a part of the Angel Group or the Angel Army, however you would like to say it, and I will see you next week. Bye! Oh, by the way, next week is going to be nothing but vlogs, as well as makeup tutorials and effects makeup, so be excited.